It's time to mind your business with me, Jamillah Lodge. Tune in to find out how to mind your business with BEDC, special guest entrepreneurs, industry experts, and more. Brought to you by BEDC. Bermuda business starts here. So welcome to Mind Your Business. I'm your host, Jamillah Lodge. And of course, we got a chance to meet last night. Kandell, Trott, you are the CEO of Pure Potions.
Yes, Pure Potions LLC.
All right now. So we're going to talk a little bit about your entrepreneurial journey. But before we do that, why don't you just tell us a little bit more about yourself?
Okay, well, my name's Kandell, as she said before. I am 23 and I am currently going into my last year of university. I study a bachelor's honors in business management and entrepreneur, and I feel like business has always just been in my future, really.
Okay. So growing up, did you have anybody in your family that was an entrepreneur?
Well, my mom is a bit of an entrepreneur herself. She was one of the first female electricians in Bermuda. So she started an all-female cable company. She's dabbled in a few different businesses herself. So I would definitely say her, my Aunt Altia, and Uncle David in the minibus driving East and West End minibus service. So it's definitely always been around me.
Yeah, so you didn't have a choice.
Yeah, literally.
It's like your birthright.
Definitely.
Okay, so now let's talk about Pure Potions. So what inspired you to start this business?
Well, personally, I am kind of a Boston Children's Hospital baby.
Okay.
I used to go there at least once or twice a year, every single year till I was about almost a teenager. Okay. So I'm not really the most fond of hospitals in my older ages. So from there, when I used to have troubles with anything to do with having to go to the hospital, I would want to figure it out myself. I got into holistic medicine, making my own teas and herbs and remedies, and it just took me into a different type of space when it came to my health. And from there, I got into seamoss, and Pure Potions was made.
Okay. So tell us a little bit about Pure Potions, like the drink itself and what it's made out of.
Well, Pure
Without
Potions,
giving away all the secrets.
Well, Pure Potions is a seamoss juice company. It gives you 92 out of the 102 minerals your body needs to survive. Instead of being a heavy milk-based product, we do a lemon iced tea format. So we cater to more of the lactose intolerant, vegan-friendly side of things. But we also cater to people that don't like bitter-tasting things as well. I know it's hard to find health products out here that aren't bitter-tasting or, content with people. So it was nice to get a product that was still sweet and savory, but not artificial and just natural.
And I can say, because I had an opportunity to taste it myself, they are really delicious. Yeah. So what are the flavors that you currently have?
So far we have lemon ginger, which is the original base of all the flavors. We also have mango tropical, which is like apricot, banana, mango. And then we also have hibiscus for the hibiscus lovers. We have a lot of hibiscus lovers.
Yes, I mean, we live on an island. We're surrounded by hibiscus. It only makes sense. Yeah. But no, they really do taste good. And I understand that the whole idea around you creating this was to address your own personal health issues, but now others can benefit as well. So can you talk a little bit about some of the benefits of seamoss?
Yeah, so like I said, the 90% of the minerals your body needs to survive. It also helps a lot with like immunity. I know sometimes in the summer it may not be as vital for people to be on their health when it comes to flu, colds, but definitely in the wintertime I noticed that it definitely helps. Summertime it helps with like cooling you down, making you feel energized. It's good with energy. It's good with digestion. If you have skin problems, it's good with that. It's just kind of I feel like an overall reversal to different things. I know a few friends that go out to party hard and then the next day need something to kind of cure that hangover. So it's definitely multi-purpose.
Okay. All right. And I know when I envision seamoss, like you said, I think about like the milk base, a little bit heavier, but yours was very easy to drink. It was really delicious. And so I think that from that standpoint, I don't even think people know that it's seamoss in it.
Yeah, we have a lot of people that are very skeptical when they first taste it, and they're like, no, it's not sea moss. And I'm like, it is, I promise. I make the sea moss from scratch, I make the gel, and I make the juice, so it's all 100% real.
That is so cool, I think, because it's not anything that I've ever seen before. Have you ever seen any version of what you've created before?
Yes, but it's very minimal, and not everyone's tastes the same.
Right.
So it gives everyone kind of a little room to alter it, make it their own.
Yeah, I would agree. So in terms of how people can get the product, when you first came up with it, were you like, okay, this is a hit? How did you confirm that what you were selling was what people were going to respond to?
So I'm a jam of feasibility. I love to look into things like this. My mom actually had a company called Easy Kernel Popcorn. They were selling in shops. So what I did was, once I created my product, we went ahead and we actually made them and put them in the shops under her brand. That way they can get out there and we can kind of see how people were liking them. And from there, it was a hit. Everyone loved them. Everyone started looking for them in stores. You know, we rebranded and we pushed them out into more stores, and from there we just knew it was going to be a success.
Yeah, I would agree. I mean, one thing I think, like in food services industry, just branding and all of that makes a difference because you got to catch people's eye. But once you taste it and it's good, then it's easy after that.
It definitely
you know what I mean?
is.
Because sometimes people will focus so much on what the packaging looks like, and then you drink it and you're like, no. Thank you very much.
Literally.
But yours is really is delicious. And so that's exciting. So where can people find your product now?
So you can find us through social medias. At the moment, we mainly use Instagram, but we also have our contact information on our bottles itself, in case anyone wants to get personal orders. But we also sell them in about 6 different locations around the island. All the Champs Variety stores. We sell them in Work gas station across from Work Bill. We're currently in Supermart on Front Street. We also just got into Robinson's in Somerset, and we are looking to get into Work Linda's soon.
Go girl. I love it. So when you mentioned in your name, you said Pure Potions LLC, which is a huge feat in itself. So when did you actually register the business and set up the business?
So I went independent and registered the business in December 2024. So pretty recent. It was fun. It was quite interesting to kind of do it on myself. I know most people go through lawyers and stuff, which does make the process a little tedious and a lot of waiting and a lot more money. But as a business student, I thought I like a challenge. Why not try to do something like this myself? Who knows, I can be able to help other people after.
Okay. All right. Well, I like the gumption and the get up and go and just make it happen. I love it. Now, you did say that you rebranded.
Yes.
That in itself, I'm like, you just registered in 2024 and now you're rebranding. So what kind of challenges, if any, did you face going through that kind of process? And what made you decide to rebrand anyway?
So because I was connected to another business and I saw how much the company could flourish, I figured brand loyalty was important. So due to the brand loyalty and it being under an alias, I was like, why not go independent? That way our brand could kind of get out there a little more. And because I am currently in school in the UK, a part of my course was actually making a plan to expand into the UK. So being able to become independent here, rebrand and create a sense of brand loyalty and awareness was definitely the main aim of it. I wouldn't say I came into much challenges, more so regulations, making sure that everything was set in place, making sure that we had the funds for it. We did go through an investment process where we had to do investment pitches and to collect that money to even get that far.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's exciting. So you're still in school in the UK now,
yes.
right? Okay. And when do you finish?
I finish 2026.
Okay. So is your plan to stay there? Are you coming home? What's your plan?
So I want to come home. Okay. I do want to come home, but I also do want to establish a base out there. I find that although home is where the heart is, it is very good to network. and who knows how far this product can get. So it would be nice to also be able to travel back and forth to get that exposure for businesses, because I know this is not going to be my only one.
Right. Okay. Serial entrepreneur. I love it. So one of the things that, or how we were introduced, was through our summer student entrepreneurship program. Yes. And so you applied for that. And what was your thought when you applied for it? You're already in school, right? Yeah. Getting your degree. So what were you thinking when you applied for that program?
Well, I'm always looking at new opportunities. I've learned that networking is really important. But it's also good to learn things in different perspectives. Not everyone will teach you the same perspective. As I've learned in school, you can go to 1,000 classes and they will teach you the same thing in 1,000 different ways. So stepping into this, I stepped into it with an open mind. Obviously eager to push my business out there and get that network, or even speak to people to get feedback and improve. But also to just see new things, to hear from other people, and to just get constructive criticism and be able to take it and apply that knowledge on top of my curriculum.
Yeah, well, congratulations, because you successfully completed that. And what would you say from being in that experience, because it was you and about 7 other young people in that program, what would you say is one of the biggest things or biggest takeaways for you from that?
I would say, as much as you can learn in school, the biggest takeaway I took away from this is mindset. Being able to step into a mindset even when you may feel overwhelmed or there may be things that are going wrong. I always say do what you can until you can do what you can't. And resilience is very important. So although I did learn other things like accounting, marketing, and we did do a lot of fun stuff, I would say mindset was the main thing that really stuck with me.
Okay. So if you were talking to your younger self or any other young person, because the program goes from 13 to 23, right? And they're trying to decide, oh, I don't know, should I do it? Should I not? What would you say to them, maybe to encourage them to consider doing the program, but further consider entrepreneurship as a viable option to have a career or whatever?
I gotta look at the camera. As an entrepreneur, not everything's gonna be easy, but I would say it's easier to work for yourself than to work for others at the end of it all. But it's also good to have something of your own. So if you have the opportunity to start something and grow and let it flourish in front of you, I would definitely always recommend this program.
Oh, thank you for that. No wise words. I'm like, how old are you again? Because a lot of the things that you're referencing or mentioning, sometimes, as adults, we don't even get there. Yeah. Well, you're an adult too, but as an older person who's been around a lot longer, sometimes life experiences haven't even gotten us to that point of the wisdom that you're sharing today. But I love to see it, right? Because for me, if you are this young and you're already thinking this way, then of course you're going to have another business. Of course it's going to be successful. And I'm looking forward to seeing what that can be. So in terms of Pure Potions, what are some of your goals and desires? Like, what do you want to see when it's like a fully grown, flourishing business in all these jurisdictions? What is it, your big vision for your business?
Well, although seamoss juices are the start, I do have a few products that I'm going to keep on the hush for now, but I have a few products that I do want to throw out there and attach to the brand that I think that will go really far. I think in Bermuda per se, I would say my main thing is to keep it up, be consistent with my product, be able to have people that aren't looking for it, like, oh my gosh, you're sold out. I have people doing that now. And it's just so crazy to witness people be like, I really want more. Where can I get it? The shop's sold out. You gotta re-update. And I'm like, oh my gosh. But I would say to see it grow, to see it become consistent, and to see the loyalty of the brand become bigger, especially in the UK. I had to do a exhibit out there as well on the business, as well as being able to show how I can expand it. And I was able to get a network to get in wellness centers and stuff out there. I'm supposed to be doing a pop-up in October in
that's
London.
Exciting.
So it's definitely a room to grow. Definitely.
Yeah. I mean, in terms of like the manufacturing, because it's just you now that's making all the juices, or do you have a team?
I have a team.
Okay, now.
Yes, we have a team. You got to be surrounded by the right people to get things done the right way. And I definitely have a good team that supports me and make sure that even if I don't want to do it, I get it done.
Okay. And I think that's important to note, because a lot of times, especially when you're starting up a business by yourself, you have to be the chief everything officer, right? Your shirt says CEO. It's like sometimes you're starting out and it's chief everything officer, but in order to scale and grow, you have to have that team.
And I have that mindset of do it bad all by myself. But sometimes I take a step back and I know that I have to look at things from a different point of view, and sometimes take a step back and actually allow other people to help.
Yeah. How did you get there? Because I'm sure it was hard.
It was very hard. When I first started, it was all me, and obviously being in school kind of made it a bit of a delayed process, because I had to come back, make more, go back out. But now that I have it legitimized, I was able to make an investment pitch and send it to a bunch of people that I knew that would be interested. I was able to obtain that investment and go from there, do the LLC, register the company, look for people, like you said, who are there to help and are willing. And from there, it kind of just took off. I came back this summer and I came into the program with an open mind, and everything just worked out in the end.
Yeah, I am loving to hear it. I'm loving to see it. So in my mind, I'm thinking, okay, the process that you create this product, you start selling it, you're already like expanded outside of Bermuda, which it makes sense because you're already in the UK in school. So it makes sense that you're doing that. And to have the validation that people are liking what you produce, I think is really, really cool. So in terms of all of the things, you said a lot of things that I think you could be proud of, but what would you say if you had to like pick one defining moment would be like your most rewarding experience to date?
Oh, that is a hard one. I would say being self-employed at the moment. While Pure Potions is the main business we are focused on, I also do hair and lashes.
Oh.
So, becoming an independent business owner at such a young age, I would say, is one of my biggest moments. On top of being able to create my own limited liability company off the base of myself without any lawyers or help, that was definitely big. Yeah, I don't think
my biggest flex,
anyone else has done that.
Yeah, it is difficult because I think there's a lot of regulations, and on one hand, they're like, oh, yeah, you could do it yourself. On the other hand, they're like, no, you need a lawyer. And so it's just trying to suss through that, what is required, how you do it, what paperwork needs to be filed. I know the BMA is very specific about what paperwork they need.
They are. They definitely are.
So that you went through that process and stayed the course, I think speaks volumes to your personality, right?
Yeah.
And your ability to just stay the course and stay focused and continue on until you get it done.
Especially because I wasn't in Bermuda while I was
You
LLC.
weren't?
No, I was abroad when I first started to LLC the business. I only got in Bermuda probably right after it was done.
Oh, really?
Yeah, so most of my calls were definitely coming from the UK to Bermuda to ask a bunch of questions.
Yeah.
Yeah, they definitely know my name now.
But I love that. I think that is a huge accomplishment in itself, right? Yeah. Because that process is daunting. We see a lot of people come and they're like, they have to hire a lawyer because it's a lot of paperwork and a lot of back and forth. But it seemed like you navigated that with grace.
Yes.
I want to go back and talk a little bit more about your team and how when you decided that you needed a team. First question.
Yeah.
Second question is, how did you determine who was going to be part of that team? Because that can sometimes be a difficult endeavor.
Yes. So I would say I realized I needed a team once I was going independent due to the fact that I wanted it to run consistently, whether I was here or not. I knew I had one more year of school, but because I knew this was something that was already going far where it was, I decided I need someone or some people that I can count on to keep this going while I am abroad finishing my last year of school. That way, when I come back, it's not a hassle of what am I going to do?
Right.
How am I going to get work? And from there, you know, I had to kind of look at not the outside, but who's inside my circle. And from there, I knew I had to find people that, one, I can trust with it, and two, that are business savvy in a sense. I knew one person that used to work at HSBC Bank, so she's very good at management, business organization, administration. She definitely keeps me on my toes. And then obviously I also found someone who loved the drink themselves, and they were very adamant, like, when is this gonna start? Are you gonna put it in stores? And that enthusiasm is something that's really important in a worker, because you know they're gonna want to get it done. So from there, I asked them if they wanted to work and keep things consistent for me, and they were all gung-ho about it. They loved it. They loved the idea. They loved the idea of them being able to be a salesman. And it just worked in my favor. And from there, you know, once I came back, we sat down and we had more of a face-to-face meeting about it, and we got started.
Okay. So when I'm thinking about the whole process of like manufacturing, I'm thinking about the recipe itself, right? I'm sure there was trial and error for you to come up with what you finally settled on.
Yes.
Can you talk me through a little bit of that process and how you decided on the flavors to start with? I know you mentioned the first one is like the base for everything. Like, how did you go through that process to come up with the 3 flavors you have now?
So the original was kind of like, I don't know, it kind of just came to me, the original flavor. When I was in England, I used to make my own herbal teas, which is going to be a part of the brand eventually. But I used to make my own little tea bags, and I used to have the herbs all stacked up and just pick which ones I wanted. And from there, I got into seamoss, and I also had the gel. But then I was like, not everyone likes the gel. And like, you know, teas are nice. And my brother, he actually used to make iced tea at home from scratch. So I was like, I thought of him in that interim, and I was like, why don't I put this together? And then one day I did, and I brought it home. And I got my mom to try it. She doesn't like seamoss as well. So it was fun to see her taste it and be like, oh my gosh, what is this? It tastes so nice.
And not know.
It was very, very amusing. But from there, she was so eager to, you know, get people to taste it. We should try to put them in shops, see how it goes. And so we started with the lemon ginger flavor, and from there she likes hibiscus. She's tasted sorrel, but it was too strong.
Right.
So she was like, why don't you try this? So I was like, why not? Let's give it a try. And then from there we went into mango. I'm a mango lover.
Yes. So
we got into the mango flavor, and even now we're still trying out some other flavors. I'm actually starting now.
Okay.
I wouldn't say she's my manager, but I feel like she is sometimes. She has asked me for more flavors to come, so we're actually conjuring up some more in the interim. Yeah, we just went from there.
I love how organic it seemed to have happened, right? Like you said, you were focusing on your own health, and you were like, this tastes pretty good. Let me just see. Let me see what other people think. And then once they tried it, they really loved it. And like I said, I keep going back to the fact that mentally, when I think of sea moss, I have this vision. It's thick, the gel, you know what I mean? Like you said, it's the milky. And so being able to have a different experience, but still get the health benefits, is pretty awesome. So let's talk a little bit about the health, because when we first met, you mentioned it's a health and wellness type of product. How does that fit within the marketing of your product?
So with our Rebant brand, because I was in school and I do my own graphic design, I decided to go with something that was simple and not too much, to where it's fun, and when you see it, it'll catch your attention. Like you said, some people look at the brand, but then when they taste it, it's kind of not the same. So I kind of try to merge the two in a sense to get a feel of what everyone would like, and then I kind of went from there with it.
Okay. All right. Well, I think that you're off to a great start, right? You have done a lot of the things that I don't think a lot of people who have seasoned businesses have accomplished, especially when it comes to expanding outside of Bermuda. You're currently in the UK in school, finishing up your last year, and so you're studying business management, right?
Yes.
How do you think what you're learning in the UK has helped you to get to where you are with regard to Pure Potions?
So, because it's an honors course, it's business management and entrepreneurship.
Okay.
So they definitely make sure that it's not just about managing a business, but being an entrepreneur yourself, you have to kind of be able to be a bit of a jack of all trades, which was right up my alley. So, along with the data economics, data analysis, economics, marketing, they also did a lot of enterprise and practice, being able to have us hands-on with things and actually interact, do virtual enterprise classes where we had to problem solve and figure out ways to improve a business that was already made or had been up and running that we have just been introduced to. So I definitely think a lot of our hands-on practices in school definitely have helped on top of being able to apply that knowledge right away, which I love for myself, because I always tell myself, if I get into school, I want to be able to apply that knowledge before I graduate, because after I graduate, who knows what I'm going to remember.
Right. I mean, I love that, because I think part of entrepreneurship especially is one thing to say, this is what you need to do, you need to do this, but it's a completely different thing to do it. And I think you mentioned early on about the fact that sometimes what you think you're going to do is not actually what you end up doing, right?
Definitely.
Because you have to like pivot, you have to change, because your customers will tell you, hey, look, we don't want this. You need to try this. So now, talking about customers and getting that feedback, you have your 3 flavors. You're looking at doing more flavors and even incorporating teas. How do you engage with your customers on a consistent and recurring basis so that you can get this feedback and help you expand your products?
So, on the back of our bottles, we do have a little contact us, if you want to give a review or you just want to reach out to us and let us know how our product is, which has been working out perfectly. But also, upon deliveries, you always have that one customer that's in the store, or maybe the workers that actually have the drink as well. I remember one time I was updating the work gas station store, and as I was putting everything in the shelves, one of the cashiers came to me and she was like, I'll just take that bottle and put it to the side because I don't want no one to take my bottle. I'm like, okay, so it's really good. And when I was first getting into the shop, one of the managers, her mom actually tasted my juice, and she's an older lady. So to see someone older as well, which is a part of my target audience, taste it and be so amazed. She was like, I want 7 of them. And I'm like, no problem, I got you tomorrow. And from there, when I went into the store to deliver my first delivery, it was just like, she was like, she just loved all the flavors, and it's always room for feedback, I know some people are not too fond of too sweet things. So some people would be like, this time it was a little sweet, and I'm able to pivot that from there. Or I know the original flavor says original, but it's really lemon ginger. So everyone's like, so what is the original? And I'm like, okay, that's something I can tweak later on, and instead of putting original on the sticker, I can put lemon ginger, just so it's a different pace of things, and it also allows you to push your product to be better. And it definitely helps the business overall, because once your customers see that you're listening, it just makes everything better.
I agree, because it's one thing to get the feedback and then don't do anything with it. They'd be like, is she even listening? So that you are receptive, I think is good. That it's gonna bode you well, I think, because people will receive that and see that. And like you said, in Bermuda, you can touch and feel your customer, right?
Literally.
They're like, hey, you're the Pure Potions CEO. One of the things that I want to ask you about is the recipe and maybe trademarking and things like that, especially considering you're expanding into the UK, and I'm imagining that if you can expand into North America and other places that you will. So have you given some thought to that, and what are your plans around that?
So I have actually, like I said, I did an exhibit back in the UK as a part of my course. It was literally an assessment. I had no choice. So I actually got to liaise with a lot of entrepreneurs that have started their own companies and are successful, and was able to ask questions about different things like that due to the fact that regulations are a bit more stern in the UK. Trademarking was actually on the top of the list of my concerns, and I've actually looked into a few places to trademark when it comes to sustainability, being vegan friendly, also just being overall past when it comes to health and safety, especially for a wellness brand. That's very important.
Yeah, and I'm sure you want to protect that recipe as best you can, right?
Exactly.
Like, I think of KFC, I'm like, what's in that chicken? Does anybody know? Nobody knows. But people keep going back and back for it. So I would imagine it's similar. You want to protect that recipe as best you can. Yeah. And I know ingredients are ingredients. Everybody has access to them, but it's your combination and how you're putting them together that I think is worth protecting so that you can expand into as many markets as you want. Because like you said, in order for you to do that and to produce it on a large scale, it can't just be you in the kitchen, right?
Literally. NDAs are required.
Yeah, I know that's right. I love it. I've loved speaking with you. I think that you are just you're gonna do all of the things. That's the sense that I get, just based on the fact that you have all the pieces to the puzzle, right? You're getting your degree in business management and entrepreneurship. You already have a product that has been tried and tested, and you're willing to receive the feedback to help you develop future products. So I think I can't wait to see you on Forbes top 400, top 100, whatever list. But we are rooting for you here. And I keep looking around, hoping I'm going to see a bottle or something. I ain't seen
I was going to bring a few. I'm not going to lie. I was thinking about it. But I'll definitely drop some off for all you guys.
Oh, thank you. But I live near work gas station, so I know where I need to go to get mine.
I'm hoping they're not sold out already.
Oh, no. Oh, no. But listen, I have really enjoyed minding your business a little bit. And I would love for people to be able to contact you. So what is the best way to contact you if they want to find out where and how they can get this Pure Potions?
So far we are on Instagram under purepotions.co.
Okay.
And you can also email us. At the same time, we are opening up a Facebook page soon to reach more of our older customers. We know you guys don't like Instagram too much.
Don't discount us.
Yes, so we will be doing that. We have a contact number and an email, as well as our Instagram on the back of the bottles wherever you go.
Okay. Well, thank you so much. It has been such a pleasure talking with you.
Me.
And remember, if you don't mind your business, who will?
Literally, that part. Clock it.
Thanks for tuning in to Mind Your Business with me, your host, Jamillah Lodge. Tune in next week, Thursday at 4 p.m. because if you don't mind your business, who will? Mind Your Business is brought to you by BEDC. Bermuda Business starts here.